BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed ahoy hoy. Welcome to episode 479 of BRB UK. I'm Dan, one of your hosts. I'm joined at this moment by Coleman. We are missing a Tim at the moment. A search party has been sent out, but I've just advised them to follow the sounds of him bleating, "Oh, Windows PCs are rubbish! They're rubbish! They're rubbish!" So yeah, hopefully that'll make him fairly easy to track down. That's what I'm hoping. There we go. How's your week been, Coleman?
Hi. Yeah, not bad. Busy.
Yeah.
Little
Mine
bit of gaming.
has. Yeah, kind of also busy. Trying not to overthink situations in the world at the moment.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, you are. I mean, we were talking about it before we came on. Come on, Dan, I've got a great bit of advice. I've got a wonderful bit of advice for you if you're worried about the direction things are going. Just don't give a crap.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Zen
Dilly gaff.
Coleman.
I mean, if there was something you can never accuse me of, that's overthinking.
Yeah, it's true, actually. It's very, very true. But on a moderately serious note, just for a tick, we do hope everyone's all right. And we will do our best to talk as irreverently as we can. And hopefully, help us all enjoy the nice little bit of escapism that we all desperately need at the moment. That is the video games. But we hope everyone who listens is okay. And I think that's all we really, really need to say about that. There's much love in the BRB Discord. If you ever want to chat to people, say hello or anything. So come over there, say hi.
Yeah.
So, Coleman, it has been a silly, silly February so far. You silly February. And why have all the games come out? It feels like it should be September or October. It's just gone bananas.
Well, I think what happened is when lockdown started happening because of COVID.
Never heard of it.
I forget we're not meant to say COVID anymore because of
bad
pneumonia.
Bad Coleman.
Because of because of the bad thing happening. And
which one? Specify.
The
sneezy bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Vidco.
good. Okay, good. Right.
Because that happened, that put everyone back on their release dates. And I know it used to be that the big release window to hit would be November. That's when all the big games would come out. Then that got brought forward to October, as the smaller titles would try to hit October. Then the bigger ones started taking over, so the smaller ones went to September. And then because of the bad times, everything went a little bit further back. So maybe February has become the new October, the new November.
So Tim is no longer Mr. November. He's now Mr. February. Is that what we're saying?
Maybe we should delay Tim.
Does he need to get his agent to renegotiate what month he's the pin-up for?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I never thought of that.
Ladies.
But interestingly, I mean, because as we're recording now, I think the day this podcast comes out is the day that Elden Ring releases officially.
Yes.
Although we're seeing a lot about it from not just reviews, but people getting their copies early because they may have got a physical copy, and a lot of websites do send their copies out early in case of, postal delays and what have you. So there is a lot of Elden Rings floating around at the moment. But in the week that we got Horizon, which I'm going to talk about soon, and The Witch Queen, which you're going to talk about, and then all of a sudden, Elden Rings and nothing. Just everyone steering clear of Elden Ring for a week before the next week where everything starts coming out again. So interesting times for releases.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll talk. I'm sure more than one of us is going to pick up Elden Ring.
Yeah,
I'm kind of on the fence a little bit because I'm just a.
Well, you want to hurt that. You want to not sit on that fence because you might hurt your Elden Ring.
Indeed, dark arseholes.
Skyrim.
No, but that was a bit of a stretch, wasn't it? A bit of a stretch. So only because, and I've grumbled about this before, that I have such little time these days to actually play games that I kind of want to relax. and I just know that a From Software game is not the way It's a good game. It's an enjoyable experience, but it's an enjoyable experience that probably isn't that relaxing. So that's the only reason why I'm umming and ahhing. People are probably going to tell me to go and find some gonads or something like that in Discord.
See, I've heard through various sources that this
grapevine?
one... Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Dark Souls, the Demon Souls, or even though I do have Demon Souls on the PS5, I've installed it. I have yet to play it. I've got other things to play at the minute, so I'm working my way through. Elden Ring's meant to be a bit more favourable to those that are more in the camp of Bloodborne and Sekiro, which I am very much. So yeah, I caved at the very last minute because all the reviews said, hey, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, masterpiece, best game of the generation so far. And yeah, that was enough. That swung it for me.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, I don't know. I've seen the kind of like the IGN review. I was watching that. I was having some lunch today. And my goodness, it's a pretty looking game. It's a very pretty looking game. And it does look like, if I were so inclined, something that would just eat all of my time, because it looks quite awesome. But we shall see. We have other games to play and to grind on through before then.
And you've got an update to your super favourite game of all time.
Tic-tac-toe.
That's right. It's now called Tic-tac-toe TikTok. It's got broadcast capabilities to TikTok now.
It has. It's incredible. It's a meta platform now, so you can stream to TikTok while you're playing tic-tac-toe, or tic-tac-toe as it's known.
Oh no, sorry, Dan, sorry. Tic-tac-toe's now been purchased by the New York Times for $11 billion.
Excellent.
And it's a premium service now.
I played the naughty version anyway.
Oh, good.
Which, for some reason, considering that Gary Witter, okay, a reputable English bloke, lovely guy.
We love Gary.
He's behind Loodle, but I'm very upset. Bearing in mind he's British, I'm very upset that there aren't more British naughty words in there, like clunge, for example. Clunge should be in Loodle, but it isn't.
I'm thinking.
You're
I'll come back to you.
There's other 5-letter ones.
Oh, does it have to? I've never played Wordle. It has to be 5 letters, is it?
It has to be 5 letters.
Thing is, when everyone starts going, hey, this thing, especially when it's a mobile game, this thing is amazing. You've all got it, or a video or something like, or this web series or this thing on Netflix. Like, I still haven't seen Squid Game. If everyone starts pushing something so hard upon release, I go, yeah, I could probably skip that. Wait a while till it all dies down. If it lasts the test of time, then I'll come back to it.
I find a game of Wordle lasts approximately as long as super private Porcelain Throne time. And therefore, it's all good. I can multitask.
But Dan, don't you have Game Pass and Destiny 2 The Witch Queen, which you can put on
Game
your phone?
Pass no longer contains the Destiny.
Oh no, but you have a Series X. Can you not play it on the Series X?
But I also have a PC.
Okay, well, you got it on Steam.
Yes.
So you could remote play Steam to your phone?
I could remote play Steam to my phone, yes.
See, I'm always thinking ahead.
Right, always thinking about the toilet gaming.
Yes, 3D chess, my friend.
As I'm trying to banish the darkness in my own little throne world. Actually, that's quite a good link, because it is all about Savathun's throne world. So... yeah, why not? Okay, good. We got there in the end. We got a link.
Good.
Well done.
Good.
Fantastic. So so Destiny 2 The Witch Queen is the latest expansion released for, guess what, Destiny 2. And anyone who has listened to this show, well, like ever, probably realises that I am a bit of a Destiny fanboy / apologist. So
You're
it was
a
great
boy.
to see. Yeah, so the Witch Queen was meant to be released last October, I think, but because of the Rona, they had to delay it until February rather than rush it out. They wanted to do a good job.
Did they do a thing where they went, here's a little bit of content in its place to kind of bridge
I mean,
the
it's
gap?
a little unclear whether or not the 30th anniversary add-on was already going to drop, regardless of whether or not Witch Queen happened.
Rich cream.
Rich cream.
Rich cream.
Yeah. Guardians, lactose intolerant.
Put it
terrible.
in your coffee. Delicious.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That rich cream because Commander Zavala can't metabolize lactose, makes himself inside out. It's dreadful.
But what I was gonna say is it kind of harkens
Am I
back
channeling
to
Tim without him being here?
a little bit. Do you remember when The Taken King was going to come out, and that was like a big, eagerly awaited thing? Like, I'd got back into Destiny, ready for this one, and then they ended up going, we got to delay it, but we're going to release this other bit of content in between to bridge the gap.
Oh, yes.
And they seem to have done it again for the Witch Queen.
For the rich cream, yeah.
The Rich Cream. Well, I mean, if anything, we've got our show title.
We have got a show title. Yeah, I'm not sure I think it was more of a planned, less reactionary, oh God, I've nearly got hammer homework in, but it's not ready. I bet tell everyone the dog ate it. I think they've been a lot more open and honest, and I think this has been a bit of, Bungie realising that actually crunch time was something they weren't willing to put their employees through to try and get Witch Queen out for their original stuff. So I think the 30th anniversary content pack, which is paid for, was already on the cards, irrespective of Witch Queen being a thing. So Witch Queen is all about the big bad this time around. Is a hive lady called Savathun. She's a little tricksy little minx, that Savathun. She lies, she schemes, she connives, all of those things. And she has, in the build-up to this, been impersonating one of the main characters in Destiny, a guy called Osiris, who was a warlock. I remember him. Used to be in charge of all of the warlocks. Until he decided he wanted to go off and play with time anomalies.
He made one of the worst expansions, I believe.
He did make one of the worst expansions.
Just looping round again and again.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, that's the kind of the setup for it. There's also been, since the previous expansion, Beyond Light, there's been this whole kind of meta-narrative about, actually, is light inherently good? Is dark inherently bad? Is it the person who wields it that makes it good or bad? So that kind of leans into that a bit more, asking questions about what does it mean to be a Guardian. So that's kind of where it all picks up from here. In terms of, the campaign, I think the thing that people are going to notice front and center is that there is a hard mode straight up. And if you do the hard mode, you get double loot all the way through and loads of stuff to upgrade your armor. So you don't have to wander about for 3 days wearing cast-offs from a charity shop, looking a bit ropey. You can actually you have all the materials you need to upgrade your armor.
So something ready for elite gamers like me who play Uncharted 4 on Crushing.
Yes, exactly.
Good.
People like you. And I must admit, I'm no great first-person shooter. Well,
You're not a great first-person shooter, Dan.
I'm not a great first-person shooter. Contrary to what best men speeches may say about me, I'm not a good first-person shooter. That is a deep dive that will only be relevant if you're at my wedding.
We never spoke about that. We said we would one day.
Oh yeah, we did. It was yes, and the best bit was apparently Tim went to my dad. It's all right. I've given loads of best men speeches before. I know exactly how to pitch it to the room. Exactly. And so imagine, like, my work colleagues, Sarah's work colleagues, all of our friends, some of whom are medics, very few of them are actually into video games. And Tim literally went into a 15-minute speech about how I'm a good person to have sat on top of a garage sniping someone's head off. And I was just like, great, this is awkward and career limiting at the same time. Fantastic. So anyway, aside.
Good.
So I've been playing on Legendary. I have yet to finish the campaign because I have been a busy boy at work. I have literally one checkpoint away from finishing the campaign. I've played all the way through on Legendary, and I would actually recommend that people do the same. It's actually a really well calibrated level of challenge. That, however, is probably because I'm very familiar with mechanics, very familiar with kind of the loadouts, the guns, etc., etc. I think if you're a brand new person to Destiny, I would probably just do it on normal. No, but it's so far the narrative's pretty good. It's clearly taking some big, bold strides in certain directions. I'll try and limit spoilers, but I think it's fairly well known out there. If you look at the trailer for it that Bungie released, the kind of the big thing that's happened is that Hive, who are one of the kind of the enemy races, they now have the light. So that means there is bad guardians. What does that mean? I don't know. Is light dark? Is dark light? I'm so confused. Help me.
So that's the big. So like the. Is this like the whole? You got to remember, I dropped off Destiny 2 just before K6 died. So big moon thing in the sky. The Traveler gives you the light. Gets kind of semi-destroyed. You free him. Fragments of it. So they've got. He's woken up now. Oh Christ!
He has woken up.
So they've given him what? He's giving them powers, or they're getting? Am I spoiling something?
It's either the Traveler did or the Traveler didn't. If I tell you which one of those two it is, there's some pretty big plot spoilers.
Okay,
because all of that is revealed in the story. So I'm going to back off that for the moment. I mean, in terms of just coming back to what I was saying about new players, I mean, I think it's a really nice evolution of Destiny. I mean, literally all I've had the chance to do is try and grind my way through the campaign. So I haven't done much of the other stuff around it, other than the brief introduction to the big new thing they've introduced is weapon crafting, which looks like it could be really cool. So if you find certain weapons have got a random chance to drop in a way that allows you to extract their kind of traits, so certain perks, certain things that have all the materials that's within them. So there's going to be, as time goes on and as you unlock more and more features and more kind of weapon frames, you're going to be able to really customize the weapons that you use. So that's quite a cool thing. But literally, all I've done is the intro bit to that, where you get your big pointy stick, the glaive, which is the new weapon for this expansion.
I love a glaive.
You love a glaive. I can confirm you can stab people in the head with a pointy stick.
Excellent.
Yep.
Well established on this show. I love a glaive.
You do love a glaive. And there are there's a big new set of areas to explore. There's new public events and there's new strikes as well. I've only played one of them so far as part of the campaign. It was very good. And yeah, I mean, they're moving in a lot of the right directions. And they've also completely overhauled one of the subclasses, the Void set of subclasses, to make it a bit more like the Darkness subclasses they've revealed in the previous expansion. And what they've done is it's actually a lot more now about really kind of customizing your build. Because before, and with the other two light subclasses, so Arc and Solar, it's really kind of quite a dumbed down ability tree. It's like you have option A, B, or C, and you can't mix and match between those options. Whereas now you can kind of really customize and really fine tune kind of the kind of supers you have, also how your abilities work, how you regen your ability energy. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun for people who do like kind of the buildcraft side of RPGs like this. Other stuff that is obviously going to happen is there's going to be a big raid that's coming out a week tomorrow as we're recording, I believe. And there's, everyone's going through the usual kind of power grind to try and get there. That's another good reason to do the campaign on Legendary, because it will give you a straight up set of 15-20 armor at the end of it, is my understanding. The one thing I would say, though, is that, as we all know, Destiny has slightly impenetrable lore for those who haven't been with the franchise from the get-go. It's going to be a really confusing experience for people who have either been away from the franchise for a bit or who are brand new to it. It really does. I feel like it assumes quite a lot of knowledge. Yeah,
which is a shame, because when you've got a long-running series or a long-running game with different iterations within the game, it's a problem when, and especially in this case, that like they're kind of free to start. You can play the first sections of Destiny 2, although I don't think you can actually play the beginning levels because they've removed the beginning campaign, haven't they? Yeah.
I think you go straight into Beyond Light would be my guess.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh,
but so the idea is it's got to be kind of accessible for, and I know they tried it with Destiny 2 when they first launched it, to kind of go, okay, Destiny 1 happened. You don't really need to be deep in the lore to get into this. We're trying to make it more accessible, probably some Activision mandated stuff at the time. But then as it goes on and they build into the lore and then they make it more accessible for people, but then at the same time they continue the story in such a way that if you are a newcomer and you go, oh, I want to try this Destiny 2 that everyone's talking about, wait, I'm starting at this point. I don't know what the hell's going on. So it's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still, they've done a lot of under the hood tweaks. Like, the game feels a lot more balanced, and for the first time in a long while, with the tweaks they've made to the Void subclass, you actually feel like you are a superhero badass. It really does.
I always feel like that.
But like in computer games as well as real life, Coleman.
The goddamn
not just going down Aldi to get some milk. Now you can feel like a badass in a pretend world as well.
Asta, thank you. Aldi's
all right,
busy.
Sorry, Jesus. Coleman's gone to get himself some standards since the last time I saw him. Yeah, but you know, it's hey, look, it's Destiny 2 as Destiny 2. I obviously quite enjoy it. I will report back with a bit more next week once I've had an opportunity to kick the tires of the other game modes, because there's been a lot of change to Gambit, which is one game mode that I won't go into in exhaustive detail yet, but it seems like what they've done to it should make it more fun. All of the weapons feel like they are a bit more fun to use as well. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good refresh. Whether or not it's 60 quid good refresh, if you want the expansion or RRP. You can pick it up for a lot nearer 40 or 45 these days. But if you want the whole year of seasons, you need to buy the season pass, which
I see.
So yeah, whilst you can just get Witch Queen itself, I probably wouldn't recommend it, since I think you're going to miss out on a lot going forward. So anyway, Destiny 2, rich cream, tasty.
I can't remember where I was with the expansions. I bought up to the point in Steam at some point, but like I said, K6 was about to die. I don't think he actually died.
Yeah, that's 2 expansions ago.
Yeah.
That was Forsaken.
I think I might just give up on Destiny now. I'm never going back.
Boo.
It's just, I mean, every time I jump in...
Boo, heathen, burn him.
I was like, okay, so I have a PC that can play Destiny now. I'll play on PC and I'll get that increased frame rate and stuff, jump from the PS4, allowed you to move your save over, couldn't have crossplay at the time. And then since then, they've introduced crossplay and cross-buy and all this kind of thing. But I was playing on my own and going, I'm too underpowered for this current expansion, so I'm going to start again. And then I started again, and I got a fair bit into the original campaign again, and then went, hey, I've got other stuff to do. And then I didn't come back to it. And now they've removed that campaign, and I don't know what's going on anymore.
You're a super cool spaceman with superpowers. That's all you need to know, Coleman.
Yeah. I mean, Destiny, Bungie are really... It seems they're going out their way to make the series unapproachable for newcomers or returning players.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is something they probably do need to look at with a bit more seriousness, I think, since...
I mean, it's cool to have an exclusive club, but and it can be profitable. Look at World of Warcraft. It's made a stupid amount of money over the years, and if you didn't keep up with, if you used to play it and you stopped at the Burning Crusade, then decided, oh, I'm going to try on this latest expansion, and they give you a free upgrade on your levels. You don't know what the hell is going on. They've changed all the systems. They've changed all the mechanics and stuff. So, yeah.
Hey ho. So anyway, I will kick the tires a little more next week and report back on anything that I haven't yet fiddled with.
Fiddled with. A little bit German there.
There we go. But it's been a busy old week for Lance Reddick, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Because not only is Lance Reddick in Destiny 2, and not only was he in Godzilla vs. Kong for all of 3 seconds last year.
Wow, that is a deep Lance Reddick dive right there. I wasn't expecting you to go there with that, but well done to you with your pop knowledge.
He got top billing. He's in the film for 5 seconds, I think it is, because they cut his scenes. It still perplexes me to now. Anyway, yes, Horizon Forbidden West. It's the return of Aloy and takes over. I think it's a couple of months after the original game. This has been a big anticipated title because I think this was shown off at the PS5 reveal, if I remember rightly. A lot of people were excited for this. I wasn't so much because I'd fallen off of Horizon Zero Dawn, and it wasn't because I got bored of it, it's because I played other stuff, came back to it and went, I have no idea what I'm doing. So because of the whole, inspired by them saying, hey, we got Forbidden West, we're going to put a patch on the PS5 to make it up to 60 frames a second, went back in, enjoyed the hell out of it, beat the game, recently went back and did all the DLC and stuff because they gave that away recently for free, Frozen Wilds. Very enjoyable game. Really looking forward to seeing where that got to, and what that got to was this game. And you play as Aloy once again, and it's straight after. I won't give too many spoilers to the previous title, but a big battle happens, end boss kind of stuff, and then Aloy went off on a mission to go and try and continue stuff that was happening from the first game, and you've taken over from this point. So apparently, after the battle, you just up and left. And because of that, if you remember playing Horizon Zero Dawn, you made a lot of friends along the way. The real Horizon Zero Dawn were the friends we made along the way. And
like Grimlock.
Yes, like Grimlock.
Excellent.
And you've just up and left, they've all gone, what the hell happened to Aloy? She just up and left. We were doing a celebration in her honor for beating the big bad at the end of the first game, and now we're in the second game and she's all gone away. So that's kind of where you are with the story. You're on a mission to go find MacGuffins from the previous game, and people around you are going to reappear, but they may not be happy with you. And yes, one of those is Lance Riddick, which there was a whole big spoiler, big teaser at the end of kind of a Marvel post-credits type scene to go, ooh, maybe something's going on with his character.
Oh. No, I mean, I loved Horizon. You know, if I could get a bloody PS5, this new Horizon game and Gran Turismo 7 would make me want to pull the trigger, I think, because I absolutely loved the first Horizon, although I did think it could have made more of the really interesting environment and kind of backstory that it had, the whole kind of nature ascendant over technology and people rediscovering this old tech and repurposing it. But yeah, so apart from it being kind of a continuation from the first Horizon game, kind of what's the big kind of setup? What is Aloy up? Just what is she up to? What are you up to, girlfriend?
Well, before we get to that, Tim, hello.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we were just talking about Horizon, a wild Tim appeared suspiciously, may I add, just after I finished talking about Destiny 2. Now,
that's such a shame. Did I miss all the Destiny 2? Oh.
Yeah, you missed it, you cheeky little bugger.
I have to catch up on the podcast and definitely not fast forward that bit. I definitely
don't, because you'll give him. Don't, because you'll give Dan ideas of what to do when you're talking about any VR thing.
Oh God, there's VR stuff on the agenda.
Oh, what? They announced PSVR 2's been revealed. Oh no, my computer's crashed. I'll be back in 20 minutes for the end of the show. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yes, you wanted to know what Aloy's been up to, and she's basically troving. She's troving. I said I made up a word. She's traversing the world and trying to find a backup to an AI, because as we know, it's a kind of our time has passed, and this is a new civilization built on the ruins of our civilization, inhabited by mechanical beasts. And part of the original game was trying to figure out where these beasts have come from. Why is the world like this? Why is Aloy similar to a woman she has seen in a holograph from centuries ago? And that's all kind of explained in the previous game, although they do it in a very, you get to the last hour of the game and they go, here's all the explanation as to what's happened, like in a big dump. And I went, you could have threaded it through a bit better.
Yeah, it kind of gave me quite a lot of brain cramp, that I have to say.
So this time, following on from the previous story, and they have made an improvement on the kind of the way the story goes. The point I'm at, I'm a fair few hours into the game now, and what they seem to be doing is spreading the story out over a period of time, rather than going, here's a bunch of stuff at the start, go do a bunch of stuff for several hours and then come back and we'll explain it all at the end. They seem to be throwing more hooks out there to begin with, and then as I'm progressing in the game, so there's things like, oh, bad guys are now riding the robots. How are they doing that? Ooh, maybe
little treats. They gave them little silicon chips. They love chips.
Yeah.
Come here,
there's revisits from previous enemies and previous characters and stuff, so it's all very interesting. The big improvements are, of course, it's a phenomenal looking game. It has, whereas the previous game started off at like 27 frames a second, I think it was, before they did the 60 frames a second patch and PS4 Pro and all that kind of stuff. This one, out the gate, 4K, 60, performs lovely. I'm going for the performance mode, obviously, because I prefer the frame rate over the visuals. And they...
you're learning, my Padawan.
It's once you start doing something in a particular frame rate, when you have the travel sickness issues I have, you can't go back because it makes you feel ill, as I've explained previously with different titles. Stuff that I played absolutely fine for several hours, I go back to and go, oh God, I can't play this.
do you know what? I really think we ought to add on our non-existent rating scale. Okay, point 1, rating scale, we need one. Point 2, on that rating scale, we have one, we need a time to vomit from Coleman for every single game we review.
Chunder.
Chunder
rating.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
It's what I think we should have. Look, it's a unique selling point we could have, Tim, that puts us above, but no, above's a strong word in this, different. It makes us different than other people. And therefore different good, right?
Big improvements, big open world, very good looking, controls lovely, all that kind of stuff. Voice acting is absolutely spot on.
All right, Coleman, you had me at troving, all right? You don't need to do the hard sell.
Well, now I can't cut out the word troving, cheers Tim. The visual fidelity of character faces, the captures that they've got for these faces are absolutely mind-blowing at times. You just look at a normal NPC talking and you go, that's insanity. How does something look that good and not be a Quantum Break game? It's a Quantic Dream game. So all that's really
easy.
good.
There are no suspiciously detailed nipples in it. That's how you know.
There was a Freudian time slip there, but hey.
But then there are complaints about the game. I've seen a lot of complaints being about glitches and bugs and stuff, which does tend to happen with an open world game as it comes out. It depends on the level of how big the bugs are, of how excusable that is, I tend to find, because there's a lot to go wrong with an open world game. Personally, I've had no problems whatsoever, no crashes, none of these things, and I've sunk a fair few hours into this game. So I'm not having the same problem as everyone else. The bigger inconvenience for me was I got to a point and then it went, hey, there's a patch to install, you need to save and stop. And I went, but I'm playing, but I need to install that patch because what if I do have one of these bugs while I'm playing the game?
Did you say it in that voice, like kind of the vaguely you pesky kid Scooby-Doo villain kind of way that you just did?
Yeah, I mean that's how I talk when I'm not recording. So
you?
Yeah, this is all put on, as we know.
Yeah, excellent. I actually speak like this. This is my real voice. Hello.
But the other big complaint that I see circulating around is, hey, and you saw a lot of people making fun of it before the game came out, is, hey, they reuse animations and stuff from the previous game. And of course they do. It's a big game to make, of course.
They didn't reinvent how people look when they walk. Yes.
But there is a big case of... Do you remember the weapon wheel in Horizon Zero Dawn? As the further you progressed and you had like 2 different versions of a bow and a trap caster and bombs and all this kind of stuff, and it's very clunky to cycle around all your different weapons and all your different ammo and stuff. None of that's changed. It's exactly the same weapon wheel. And they do the Metroid thing of at the start of the game. When I finished that game, I had this shield suit that could regenerate your shielding as you're playing and protect a lot of your health and all the best weapons and stuff. And then when I started playing this game, so I still had the shield suit, no shield left on it. Okay, nice little touch. They just went, I unlocked this cool armor, but unfortunately it stopped working after a point because it ran out of power. But then they went, I've got no weapons. I've just got a bow. It's like, well, what happened to all the stuff that I got? Where's that gone? So they don't really explain that. They just do a Metroid, hey, you're starting from
have a bit
square
of a
one
reset.
again. Enjoy that. Yeah.
I have a question, Mr. Coleman. Like, it's fair to say you liked the first game and actually persevered through it. I think that's, not uncommon. There's plenty of people that really like the game and played it to completion. I think there's also quite a few people that are like me that played it for a good few hours, but then bounced off it at some point, found it difficult to go back to and never completed it.
Yeah, I mean, we actually spoke about this before you jumped into the show. I was in the exact same boat as you. I played it, I stopped, I came back, and then went, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't remember the controls. I can't remember how to play this game. I don't know where I'm at. I was in the middle of a dirt field with this huge machine just burrowing up from the floor and attacking me and throwing rocks at me and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I keep dying each time. And I must have tried 4 or 5 times before I eventually came back to it properly on the PS5 and tried again.
I know I've said this before, but there must be some kind of comedy skit to be done by someone there about, like it's waking up from a stag night in like the bottom of a quarry with a digging machine about to macerate your head.
Stag nights.
I know, right? That's why I didn't have one. Not because of the Rona.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything that has improved in the sequel to make it a bit more sticky, to make you see it through to the end? Do you think the story threads that you were mentioning help kind of do that, or not so much?
See, because the way I got back into the game was literally just force myself and then went, okay, I'm going to get away from this thing that I was fighting, run away as best I can, die a couple of times in the process, finally get away. Okay, I'm going to look up some guides online. I'm going to look up just do some smaller little side levels, get the basics down. And you shouldn't have to prep for a game like that. You shouldn't have to study to play the game that you were initially playing. And that might just be me. It was just a hard game to get back into halfway through. This time, I think there's more stuff to allow you to get the hang of it again. There's like training camps and stuff. Each kind of settlement has like a fight club type thing where you go in. It's basically, hey, combat training. So there are more things to get you back into the swing of how to play the game. I don't know if that's going to be the case with me because I fully intend to go through the main campaign before I stop playing for a bit and then come back in for side missions and stuff because it's a big old game to get through. But I don't know if it's going to be the same thing. If I put this down and come back to it, will I be able to pick it back up? Especially because I did that with the first game. It took some time, but I did get back into the game again, but then put it down again and then came back for the DLC later. Yeah. But I picked it up straight away from the DLC, so I don't know. Maybe I just got used to it after. Maybe it's a hump from the first time of doing that.
See, I took the decision that, with Elden Ring out tomorrow as we're recording this, there was no way I was going to get through that game in a week, and I didn't want to do what I'd done before and put it down and come back to it. I'd rather pick it up later when it's hopefully a bit cheaper, which was another consideration. And then, 2 open world games at the same time is not really what I want to be doing at the moment. So, yeah.
I will top this off with saying I am enjoying the game. I think it's a really good game. I'm going to try finish through. At least I'm going to finish through the story. These open world games are very easy to go, oh, shiny thing. I'm going to run off over there and do that. And I've lost count of how many boars that I've hunted and shot in the face now. This game's very easy to get sidetracked.
So you're not bored of that then? Because
you could have
anyone
roboed up the joke a bit, Dan. Kind of, got some robo-boring reference in there of some description. Maybe.
Like how? How can I make a robot reference? Like you're not bored of it. You see that doesn't work, does it?
Okay, that's definitely worse.
Thank you,
Let's
Coleman.
move on.
Yeah. All right.
I forgot I had a soundboard for a moment. It's a good game. I recommend it.
Thank God for that.
Remember, if you're picking this up physically, go buy a PS4 version of the game and then upgrade for PS5 for free because they're allowing you to do that. If you're getting a digital version, they don't allow you to buy the PS4 version of the game on the PS5. So go to the website, use the app, do whatever you do for PlayStation Store, buy the PS4 version, cheeky, buy your credit somewhere as well, save a little bit more money, and then buy a PS4 version and then upgrade that way because it's a lot cheaper than going out and buying the 70 quid version. And it's, it probably out of the games, the £70 games that I have played for the PlayStation 5, I think this is one that is probably worth £70. However,
Wowza. Okay.
save money where you can, man.
Yep. Especially in this day and age.
Yes. Horizon Forbidden West is a recommend from me.
Jolly good. Wow.
Good.
I think that's what we've done played because Tim's played nothing. Have you, Tim?
That's not true at all.
No, you haven't. Excellent.
Played
Good.
quite a lot of King of Fighters this week and enjoyed that. It's with some limitations. I can speak about the boss now, so I could mention the boss if you care.
Hang on. Let me just.
Dan's got technical difficulties all of a sudden.
My coffee's run out. Is this going to be a problem?
What a shame. Yeah, no, but the boss was embargoed, and the embargo is a bit strange. I didn't mention that last week. There's nothing massively particular to report there. It's just the boss. It morphs a couple of times. It has 2 stages. I don't understand any of the references to the name because it's called Reverse, but these people are going, but it actually looks like Verse. And you're like, who's Verse? What's a reverse?
Is there a
what
bracket?
Are you saying?
Is the
like, you need to explain
brackets?
more of what you're talking about here. And so I have no idea why that would embargoed. It's not a particularly hard boss, which is quite good. A final boss in a game, nowhere near as annoying as Seth, for instance, from Street Fighter 5.
Oh, he's a dick.
Yeah, Street Fighter 4.
He's a cheap ass.
Anyway, didn't like him. Anyway, but yeah,
he sucks.
Verse is a main antagonist of the King of Fighters series.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. And
I
one
don't
thing
want to read more on him because it's boring.
One thing I slightly misspoke about last week, I think I said that listening back to the podcast, I ended up saying that it was a game based on other fighting games, and that's kind of slightly technically true, but it's more accurate to say it's a fighting game based on characters from other SNK properties, basically. So Ikari Warriors and a few other things and stuff like that. And Art of Fighting being another one of those games that I mentioned as one of the fighting games. But yeah, so
anyway. I have a follow-up from your last week's King of the Fighters or King of Fighters or the King of Fighters. I don't know. Yeah. You were speaking about a character that is a T-Rex headed wrestler, and I looked him up. There's another character who is like a falcon-headed wrestler or an eagle-headed wrestler, and the T-Rex is the eagle-faced one is a face wrestler, a good guy. The T-Rex one is the same character, but when he wants to fight dirty, he dresses up as a T-Rex, and that is his heel wrestler persona.
Nice. Yes. And Raymond is the luchador wrestler, just for point of fact. But yeah, I found a few more characters I really like in that game as well. And yeah, got into that even more. I haven't quite played online, but I did play the online ranking thingy just to see what my ranking is. And yeah, I'll probably play some online ranking at some point as well. Yeah.
Can I just come back, Coleman, while you're talking about, you found 2 verses? I've also found 2 verses on the SNK fandom.
Oh, SNK, my favourite.
SNK.
One interesting thing
delicious.
is that Verse is able to change the fabric of reality. That comes in handy.
Right.
But it seems they've got, for all of the characters in SNK games, they've got a profile. And his is full name, Verse. Birthday, unknown. Birthplace, unknown. Height, varies. Weight, my weight varies as well.
Mine too.
Job occupation.
Most humans do.
Yeah. Guess what he does? Guess what it does for his job occupation?
God.
Dark entity, innit, mate?
Dark entity.
Of course.
It's his likes, unknown. Dislikes, unknown. Hobbies, unknown.
I heard you can retrain food, as a dark entity these days. It's quite a good career prospects.
Oh, yeah. I found one indeed.
Forte in sports, because that's a completely sensible thing to have in a wiki, isn't it? After all, I wonder what Terry Bogard's forte in sports is. Well, first, he doesn't have one. All right, he's rubbish at sport.
I mean, he wears a baseball
he's so
cap.
Angry.
He's got a good swing on him, probably.
Exactly.
Probably
but ironically, doesn't know anything about baseball. I think is how it works. But anyway, he also has no favourite music.
I would assume all their foray in sports are fighting. In some form.
I would have thought.
Generally.
You thought so anyway, I thought you would like to know a bit more about the background and motivation of Verse, who doesn't appear interested in anything and doesn't like much, and his weight goes up and down.
But does it tell you why this boss is called Reverse and why a lot of them do and don't refer to that? I don't get it. I don't understand. But anyway, yeah, as I said, enjoyable fighting game, just to come back on that. And yeah, had a slight things which probably, doesn't quite put it in with the upper echelons of modern fighting games in terms of story mode and stuff like that. But the basics, one-on-one fighting, it's a solid game, even though it's actually 3-on-3. But, good game.
Those are the games we done played. Now let's talk about all the kinds of games that we're talking about with the news. And it's a very Tim-centric news this week, I think, because two of the main headlines are Tim-themed, I guess. And so that makes it basically news.
Nice.
I mean, is it news, basically? Is it basically news? Are we going to go through this piece by piece? So, yeah.
Are you sitting comfortably?
We'll keep on
you better be, because otherwise you're going to get piles. Tim's about to speak.
Yeah, we'll keep on the fighting game theme. And first one we'll pick up this week is Street Fighter 6 was announced. As we kind of guessed it would be last week. There were some rumours circulating about it being Resident Evil, but no, it is a Street Fighter 6 game coming out. Has been announced. Terrible logo and all. Did you guys see the trailer for this?
I have a word to describe my impression. Yeah, I have a word to describe my impressions of the trailer. Veiny.
Veiny?
Veiny.
Everyone picked up on the width of Ryu. We have a wide Ryu.
Yeah, he's a chunky boy. His weight also varies.
Why you so wide, Ryu?
It doesn't matter if he's happy.
The best description of wide Ryu
Don't body shame Ryu.
Someone has stretched him from 4.3 to 16 by...
nice.
I forget what the dimensions are. Anyway,
someone
stretched him into widescreen and it looks very odd. And it's gone so far as someone did actually just shrink it back to a 4.3 ratio. And he looks just like Ryu. He looks so much better like that.
Looks so much better.
Why would you do this? I thought it was really an interesting... So we spoke about the countdown last week, and they finally... we got to the end of the countdown. It was timed just at the end of the stream for the Capcom Fighting Championship. And big trailer goes off. Was that meant to be Ryu and Ken, or was that a new character?
That's a new character, I think.
That's, I believe, Luke, who's the character who was just introduced into Street Fighter V as the last DLC character.
Gotcha.
Who's already...
The one
we've
with
already
the
been told he was going to be in 6, so it wasn't that surprising that he showed up in the trailer, apparently. So, yeah. Well,
we weren't told he was in 6. We were told his character is meant to embody the... what 6 is going to be about with the new mechanics and moves and stuff. So then they've stuck him in. Okay, I couldn't tell. I just saw a blonde guy and I went, have they done another redesign of Ken? Because I'm not fully on board with this one. But yeah.
No, I think I'm correct in that, but I think that's Luke. But yeah. It's
all a pre-rendered trailer anyway. There's not much to go on. They didn't give a date. They said that they're going to give more information about Street Fighter 6 in the summer. Hopefully they've learnt the lesson from the last time and actually release it with some content. That would be good.
But their toe animation is on point.
I thought that was a flipping... I mean, apart from... it was cool, but gross at the same time where he goes...
Yeah, I don't know.
And then all the veins go up the arm with like a burst of power. But everything else, I just thought now's your... It's a pre-rendered cutscene type trailer. It's your chance to go, look how amazing we've made things look for a new generation. But everything just looked plastic.
Are we absolutely sure it was pre-rendered?
Yes, yeah. It's giving a hints at the art style, but not necessarily anything much more than that. But the thing I'm more worried about...
I thought I saw evidence of bump maps on Ryu's toes.
The thing I'm more worried about than the graphical style, though, is the fact that it's the first modern-age Street Fighter that has come out without Ono-san at the helm. It'll be interesting to see. This will basically be the first game of a new person in that role, or for Street Fighter at least. Currently, not entirely impressed with what I've seen, both from a graphical graphic design standpoint of the logo.
You make fun of the way I say things.
And just from I'm not entirely sold on the art style from the new trailer. The new trailer didn't do much for me. So, yeah, I definitely need to be turned around on this one.
The logo is
It's
The logo,
so bland.
I could not give an absolute stuff. It's a logo. But I do get why people are annoyed.
It looks like the MG logo.
It doesn't look like Street Fighter 2. It doesn't have the flame-looking font and all that kind of stuff.
Boom.
It does look like an $80 clip art, bloody purchasable logo thing that's been slightly altered, which, seen a lot of in the past. But, however, I don't really care. But I do think the reason for that is their whole thing because Street Fighter 4 took off in such a huge way, which also had the best art style. Then Street Fighter 5, their whole intention was this is the one for, live streams, tournaments, all this kind of stuff. I think they're following on that. What I'd hope is if they're following on that same trajectory where they go, these are the ones we're going to use for all our live streams and all our tournaments and Evo, PlayStation Evo, all that kind of stuff. But release it with more content, like focus purely on the consumer thing, but ready to open up for esports. I think the logo is meant to be reflective of this kind of esports mentality. That's the impression I got just looking at it. I get why people are annoyed, but at the same time, I just don't care. It's a logo.
Again, we're learning so much about mindfulness by Coleman, and it basically is just don't give a shit. Basically this life lessons with Coleman. Worried about coronavirus? No, don't give a shit. Worried about impending thermonuclear badness with Putin being a nutter? Don't worry about it. Don't give a shit.
We're always complaining how cold it is.
Well, I've got a tin of beans.
Bring the temperature up a bit. All good.
Lovely, Vlad.
But so more details on Street Fighter 6 coming in the summer, Capcom said, which means that, do you think we'll get a release this year in that case?
No.
I reckon this is a release
Christmas?
next year. And I think, if judging by last iteration Street Fighter exclusivity combined with PlayStation's purchase of Evo, I think this could be another PlayStation exclusive.
Oh.
Really? You think?
PlayStation/PC, I reckon.
It seems to be the way to go. PC seems to be the common ground upon which we can all enjoy the fun things.
Coleman ground. Go on then, Tim. You got another bit of basically news.
Another bit of exciting news this week is that the PlayStation VR2 headset was revealed. Sony.
Does it look like a VR headset? Oh, it does.
Pretty much.
What else do you want to look like? A fish?
Yeah. Well,
yes.
It basically has been styled to match the design of the PS5, which isn't entirely
Makes
great
sense.
news.
So massive and has wings.
Big white massive thing. But yeah, I do kind of like the look of it. I have to say it looks quite sleek. I'm glad that they stuck to a largely similar design to the design that they had before. I think they refer to it as a Halo headset. I think that's how that's generally referred to. But it kind of sits atop of your head rather than strapping around it, and some of the other earlier devices do, and kind of Oculus stuff does a bit more.
See, that's good for your average person because that means it's a less visible thing that you've been wearing a headset. But for someone like me who has no hair, it means I just get a ring around the top of my head instead of around the middle of my head.
Nice.
But the two of the major things that they did talk about that I thought was really good news is, one, even though they've added lots of things to the actual headset, including vibration in the actual headset itself, the headset itself is lighter than PSVR 1. So, yeah, that is good that is going to be a bit lighter. And they've directly put ventilation in the front of the helmet so that there's more ventilation going into the front of things there. That's obviously something that they've had feedback
eye fogging
on and
is
was
a big problem
concern
in VR.
Yeah.
And especially
having
with PSVR.
regularly wipe it and
Do you know
stuff.
what I think the big deal is going to be, I mean, obviously the display resolution's higher, yada, 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 but I think one of the things that is really going to help immersion in VR is eye tracking in this, because it's going to enable, because when you, so fun medical fact alert, when you look at something, when you look at something close, your eyes point together, and if you look at something further away, your eyes go further apart. And if it's tracking your eyes, it allows it to work out what you're looking at, where you're looking at, and adjust things like field of view, which makes it feel a lot more immersive and doesn't make your brain fart when you try and focus on something far away and it doesn't work.
Would you like some stats on the PSVR 2?
Oh, I would.
Oh, go on, slap me up with some stats.
Okay, so as you've already mentioned, Tim, the ventilation in the lenses to stop eye fogging, which is a great idea. That's a big problem with all the headsets that I mentioned. Lighter than the PSVR, which I suppose is good. I never thought the PSVR was heavy. Before the Oculus Rifts, the Quests started coming out, I felt that was a pretty light headset. You got a screen refresh rate up to 120 hertz, which is the same as the PSVR, the same as the Oculus Quest, smaller than the Valve Index. You have
less.
Sorry, lesser. You use OLED, which the same as the PSVR, which is higher than the Oculus Quest and the Valve Index.
Smarter than your average bear.
Pixels per eye. Pixels per eye. This is where they will currently be the front runner. 2000 by 2040, which is higher
extra
than
40
anything.
Is quite random.
Yeah, that's higher by anything that is available on the market at the moment. Tracking will be done by inside-out tracking, which will be 4 built-in cameras into the headset. You've seen them on the front with the design. Eye tracking, 110-degree field of view, which is higher than the PSVR, higher than the Oculus Quest 2. Little bit smaller than the Valve Index. Valve Index runs at 130 degrees. Still headphone jack, still corded. Obviously needs the PS5 to run on, and the new Sense controllers if you're not using a DualSense for particular
And that's
games.
really good news. Those controllers are going to be a fantastic upgrade to what we had before. Yeah, and I think they look good, so yeah.
I have a point of correction and a point of order for you, Mr. Coleman. There is one VR headset out there that has a higher per eye resolution. That is the HP Reverb G2, which has 2160 pixels by 2160 pixels per eye.
Which is a higher number than they have on that headset, but you know.
Yeah, I will admit the benchmarks that I had there were PSVR, Oculus Quest 2, Valve Index.
And a potato.
I didn't know the new HTC was going to be even more powerful than the Valve Index.
No, that's the current one. The HP Reverb, that's current.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but who's developing for that?
I thought it was interesting. I liked it.
Yeah, headset looks great. I think it was really nice. One of the best designs of headsets out there.
Also, I think simplifying the controllers so that you've got thumbsticks on there really help. I've been crying out for thumbsticks on the controllers, and I've been saying that for the whole generation. But also just simplifying it so there's only 2 of the face buttons on each controller, so that you're not having to fumble for 4 tiny buttons like you do on the Move controllers. There's just like I think triangle and circle on one, and X and square on the other, for instance. And so I think that will really help make playing when having the VR headset on much easier to know which button is which, basically, and which button you're going for.
Do you know what I like? I like the fact it's got a triple flange wipeable gasket.
Ooh!
Triple flange wipeable gasket.
Maybe that should be the episode title.
That's why I'm going to be buying a PSVR 2, even if I don't have a PS5.
Okay, we're voting on this now. What's the episode title? Is it...
I think the fact that you can't even say that out loud
Rich Cream
answers your question.
Is it Destiny 2? Tim, you could judge. Is it Destiny 2 Rich Cream or a triple flange wipeable gasket?
Let's go for triple flange wipeable gasket.
That's going to get us noticed in the SEO.
Lovely. Oh, you see? You're welcome.
All right.
Search engine optimization.
We've had our rare instance of Tim reading the news. Look at his little face. He's well happy.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, the words we said.
Right. So you may remember back in 2017 on the Xbox One, they went, hey, no more Twitch, taking it off the dashboard, can't use Twitch anymore. If you want to get involved in streaming on the Xbox One, you need a little service we like to call Mixer.
How'd that work out for them?
Well, Mixer got shut down in 2020 after they signed Ninja to their platform for an exclusivity contract, which they paid millions for. They shut the business down, had to pay out a load of people, and moved lesser exclusivity contracted people over to Facebook Gaming, which, as you know, is a big budgeting market that nobody watches. Mm-hmm. Maybe in some countries, not ours. But anywho, it's back. Twitch is back on the Xbox dashboard, so if you're on the Xbox One S or X, you can now get Twitch back on your dashboard, and there's been a big blog post about this that has been celebrating the fact it was a tricky investment that did not pay off, and according to recent interviews with various different Xbox folk, an uphill battle from the beginning. So unfortunately, the big thing of Mixer did not pay off. It was a shame because it was a cool looking thing. You know, you could stream 4 of your friends at the same time and it would sync them up on a page, and that stuff was really cool. And just unfortunately, you try to butt into a market when there was already a big leader that had already been purchased by a huge company, and it doesn't always work out when if you're going to go up against the likes of like Amazon when they've got the market share or something, you got to make sure you're going to hit hard. And they tried, bless them. And the other bit, there's a rumour going around at the moment, a report from Bloomberg, which
served.
I think 99% of stuff from Bloomberg about games being delayed or bad things going on in companies tend to be true. Jason Schreier really works hard.
It's pretty low-hanging fruit, isn't it? It's pretty low-hanging. Guess what? A game's being delayed. Really? That never happens.
So the big thing is, it's not this year. So the Call of Duty series, which we know there's some up and down about with PlayStation exclusivity and all that kind of stuff. So Call of Duty, not this year's Call of Duty, but next year's Call of Duty 2023 has reportedly been delayed to 2024, according to Bloomberg. So whatever's meant to be coming out for Call of Duty next year, I'd assume they'd focus on Warzone in its place, or whatever Warzone becomes in its place. That's then going to be sectioned over to the next year instead. I haven't looked at Jason Schreier's Twitter today. I'm assuming he's got really, really crappy people giving him death threats because he reported on a delay, because that's usually how things work with games journalism.
Yep, and that's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting because we Call of Duty's been annual each year since 360, hasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. But I think the strain had started to show even before the last release, which I think was widely panned as a bit dodgy. I think, even got back in, Modern Warfare 2 was excellent, but then after that, Tim, I can remember way back when both of us kind of saying, actually, the annual cadence is ridiculous. There's not enough breathing time between releases.
3 was boring. I got bored. I beat it, but I got bored. It was boring.
Yeah,
it wasn't a good game.
It means they're not innovating, or they're not trying new things, because it all becomes about churning out the same thing each and every year because they like a safe bet. Hopefully, Microsoft, should the deal with that division go through, I think they've shown they're a little bit more willing to take a punt on mixing things up. No pun intended with the previous section.
Yeah, they were making waves that this hadn't come from Microsoft, but whether that's true or not,
No, they were. No, I'm saying the two things are unrelated. But I think going forward, if they're spacing out the cadence a bit more, that may give the franchise a bit more room to breathe, and in future years they may be willing to take a bit more of a punt on some of the guts of the game. But
don't forget, because you mentioned Modern Warfare 2, because I remember Modern Warfare 2 came out, all my friends were playing Modern Warfare 2, they were all talking about it at work, everyone loved Modern Warfare 2, let's all play Modern Warfare 2.
Hey, Tim, we played Modern Warfare 2, didn't we, Tim? We played Modern Warfare 2. That's what we said to each other. Me and Tim said, hey, do you want to play Modern Warfare 2? And he went, yeah, let's play some Modern Warfare 2. And then we played some Modern Warfare 2.
Eventually I caved and I went out and I bought Modern Warfare 2 and then all my
Modern
friends
Warfare
went,
2?
oh no, Modern Warfare 3's out. We're all playing Modern Warfare 3. And I'm like, okay. So I carried on playing Modern Warfare 2 and then all of a sudden they went, oh, we're back on Modern, and I've done it, I traded it in. And then I got, oh, we're all back on Modern Warfare 2 because Modern Warfare 3 isn't very good. And then the same was with Black Ops. People went to Black Ops. They then went back to Modern Warfare 2 because they enjoyed the online multiplayer more. Now, we don't have the case of that now.
Coleman, I don't want to make you paranoid.
I don't like Vanguard.
But it could just be that everyone that plays Call of Duty just likes playing without you. I'm not saying that's definitely the case.
No, I
Just
know
saying evidence supports that
particular-
everyone likes playing whichever Call of Duty game you are not playing. I'm not saying you're ruining everyone else's fun. I'm just saying, that's actually what I'm saying.
What I'm saying, okay, so that was a particular thing back then when Modern Warfare 2 came out, is people went back to Modern Warfare 2 because of the multiplayer being so good, which I heard was very good. The thing I'm getting at now is it's not a case of people go, oh, Vanguard was rubbish. I'm going to go back to 2 years ago and play whatever Call of Duty version that was online because Warzone is a thing. It's free to play. Anyone can play it as long as you've got a console or a PC to play it on, obviously. But, there isn't the case now where we go, Vanguard's rubbish, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, people stick with Warzone now. So in a year, they could afford to probably take a year off because they can keep going, oh, well, we got this free to play thing. And the main money maker is we sell skins and we sell item packs and we sell all this because it's a free to play game. And we're absolutely within our rights to do so. And
you could say they've got skin in the game.
Worst one, yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I'm dad joking so hard today.
Yeah. No, they can afford to take it off, I think. And it would probably be better for, annualizing it, we've just seen with WWE. They took a year off. They ended up delaying because of COVID. So that's now coming out. With every sports game except for F1, they have the date of the following year after they come out. And that's the same with WWE. But this year, it's coming out in 2022 because of delays and stuff. But they did take a year off because they had a game that released with a lot of bugs and stuff. So they can afford to take a year off. And it'd probably be good to see less annualized releases in a lot. I know every time a FIFA game comes out, everyone always says, yeah, I wish there was more. It seems like a palette swap in a lot of cases. So if they took an extra year to throw into FIFA, maybe there would be, but you'd never would because it's a licensed title.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, you would have thought it made sense to take an extra year at the beginning of this console life cycle to, develop new stuff for the new technology. But hey, better late than never. I guess.
They tried to do that in a roundabout way by there not being any consoles for anyone to buy.
Thinking smart.
Turning that frown upside down. All those dinosaurs eating the chips is what it was.
Yep.
Anyway.
Wrap us up, Dan.
Okay, so before we go, there are just some other bits. As you probably know, we do like to shine the old BRB UK spotlight, dim though it is.
Praise the sun.
Exactly, at some charity events every week. And we've got a double bill of charity awesomeness.
Like two ducks. A double
two
bill.
ducks in a row. Or a single very inbred duck. Double bill.
Siamese duck, double bill. Now we've got 3 titles.
Oh man, I'm still going for triple flange wipeable gasket.
Okay, I got to remember that.
Triple flange. Would you want me to type it? Yeah, I'll type it.
Yeah. Type in the agenda while Tim.
You two do something useful, like talk about charity. I'll just be puerile. All right.
Tim, talk about special effects.
So one that I will sneak in because it's a charity we have spoken about quite a few times before, but special effect are near and dear to our heart, and it is their Game Blast weekend. So I believe Game Blast 22 for this year. Basically, it's charity streaming stuff. There are lots of people doing stuff. Please check out more information on their website, specialeffect.org.uk. Game Blast, or just search for Game Blast and that'll generally come up. But yeah, organise your own sponsored events and do stuff for the weekend of the 25th to the 27th of February, so you've still got time to sort stuff out just in time for that. You can take
like
part
this weekend,
as an individual, a group of friends, a community. Not this weekend coming, but yeah, in time to organise something.
That is so,
yes.
so confused.
Yes.
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 It's okay, it's this weekend, Tim.
Yes.
It's okay, Tim. It's this weekend, Tim.
It is this weekend.
Tim, it's this weekend.
It's the takeaway's just arrived.
That's what I said to start with. No. Anyway.
Tim, shall we just keep whispering into the microphone, Tim?
Yes, do that.
Do you like it? Do you like it when we do this, Tim? Do we whisper speak nothing
live
into your ear,
stream,
Tim?
speed runs, tabletop games. There's lots of stuff you can do with it. Please go check it out. Support the people that are doing it if you can't do it yourself.
Fill the bag of crisps.
Go do that.
Sound marvellous.
Something about a double flange wipeable. Something around
Triple flange.
triple flange. That's even sexier than double flange.
The triple flange.
Is it?
I did check out the website beforehand. If you go to specialeffect.org.uk/gameblast, then I think there was a list of, there was like a section of people, like big names that are doing live streams and stuff, so you can go check out them and donate to them. But yeah, specialeffect.org.uk/gameblast to check out the event, 25th to the 27th of February, which is this week. That's this weekend, Tim. That's this weekend.
Okay.
25th to the 27th, Tim.
Good.
Good. Lovely. I have no idea how that's going to sound on the actual end.
Terrible and not very sexy
marvellous.
is what I think.
It's going to sound awful.
Are you saying me and Coleman are terrible and not very sexy?
Yes.
Because you'd be right.
Definitely.
My missus would agree with you.
My wife would as well.
I want to... Yes, Dan's wife would for both of us.
Yeah.
After 480 odd episodes,
Finds
and
Tim
believe me, they
strangely
are odd.
alluring, though. I don't know why.
Ooh.
Gonna say.
All right, calm down.
okay.
We're going to give
Wow.
We're going to give it a quick shout to Games Done Quick, which we did last week. I wanted to give note to it just because of the date this is taking place. So, charity Games Done Quick, they are doing their Frost Fatales 2022. The Fatales are Frame Fatales are the female division of Games Done Quick, speedrunning female gamers. They're doing live streams from the 27th of February, Tim, till the 6th of March. So go to gamesdonequick.com. That will give you a full rundown of schedules, games they're playing, like different stipulations and stuff. Everything is listed there. You can watch them on Twitch. You can donate to them. It's a good idea. All the money is going to the Malaya Fund. That is working with charities around the world where women can learn and lead and advocate for girls' secondary education around the world, which is brilliant.
Blooming right, mate. Mm-hmm. Go and support both of those charities if you can. Even if you, I know times are a bit hard for many of us at the moment. Even if you could just help spread the word, then that is a good thing too.
Give all your money to charity before we die in a nuclear radiation blast.
Yes, and while the money's still actually worth something.
Cheery note
I
to
look
end on.
forward to buying-
Well done, Coleman.
Well, you know.
We'll meet again.
The show must go on.
No.
Anyway, the links to both charities will be available in the show notes.
Have we got the Blackadder end of Blackadder Goes Forth that we played at the end of
Yeah, we're
SG
going
UK?
to run at them with our sticks.
Yeah.
Take-
Do I need to go and put pencils up my nose?
You almost forgot your stick. Ah, good. I wouldn't want to run a machine gun without my stick.
Anyway.
Have at you, Putin!
No, Vlad. Vlad, what have I told you? Back in your corner. Oh, Vlad.
Oh, Vlad.
Vlad. Anyway.
You cheeky little scamp.
He's more than that, mate.
Get on there, you.
He is considerably more than what I would call a cheeky little scamp.
Ruffle what's left of his hair, send him on his way.
At a minimum, he's a toe rag.
Yeah.
A bit, but otherwise, I would say I would probably describe him as something not unlike what we're alluding to with the triple flange wipeable gasket. Okay.
Have a new goal in life to call a dictator a cheeky little toe rag to their face.
I mean,
Guys,
you can
I'm off
definitely
to
label
Northern
Boris
Korea.
that.
I'll see you later.
All right. Let us know how it goes.
See ya.
See ya, mate. Bye. Well, he's pretty buggered, isn't he? You see, I like Coleman.
Coleman
Such a
died
shame.
on the way back to his home planet.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we're going to go now. So thank you ever so much for listening. But before you go, make sure you head on over to www.BigRedBarel.com or twitter.com/BigRedBarel or facebook.com/BigRedBarel. And if you have a look in the show notes of this here show, you're going to find links to all of the above, as well as our super awesome Discord, which you should join up and say hello, because we like having fun in our Discord. So, yes. And leave questions for us. We like being asked questions. Who knows? One day we might even answer one as well. And that would be deeply exciting for everybody involved. Coleman's really buggered off, hasn't he? So I just thought that was like stage buggering off, but he's actually buggered off. So all right, we're going to end the show then.
He's been replaced by a yoga mat by the looks of things, but
I reckon he's lurking out of shot.
Don't talk about my yoga mat.
Anyway, we're going to go now. So, thank you for downloading us once again. And all that's left is for me to remind you that I have been Dan.
I might have been Tim.
I've been Coleman.
You really are a bellend. So,
I'm back
until
from North
next
Korea,
time.
guys.
What? You're back from Korea? How was
I'm
it?
back from Korea, guys. Korea-licious.
Korea-licious. What did Kim Jong-un say when he went, you know what, Kim,
calm down.
Kim, do you know what you
toe
are?
rag.
And how did he take it?
Find out next week on 80 of Big Red Barrel UK.
Yep, I suppose.
Cliffhanger.
So until next time.
Cliffhanger.
Big cliffhanger to leave us
There's
on until
actually-
next week.
Do you know what? I don't even want to dilly-dally with the term cliffhanger at the moment. So let's just move on. We're going to be here next week. No cliffhanger, no doubt about it. You're going to download us, hopefully. And everything shall be fine. So, thank you ever so much for listening. We will be back next week. And toodle bye.
I like you taking issue with the word cliffhanger more than Coleman talking about going to speak to Kim Jong-un in North Korea. Are you talking about an active war?
I just loved the image.
Your ears are quite welcome.
For the podcasting goodness that you just heard.
Why not roll on over
To BigRedBarel.com
for more podcasts,
news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet. BigRedBarel.com.
The third member of that team is just a guy called King of Dinosaurs. And he's a wrestler, but he's got lots of bitey moves. And he's just a big dinosaur. Big red dinosaur. Very on brand. I think you'll like him a lot, Coleman.
Right.